the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Mamemfa wonko Bonohene Baffour Awuah a wabutu asase FM ewo enkran. Na abranti wo yesentweni a wagidin ewo man konkon Ghana ha enye asamkitwa. Na efa ato yenchema ato oman konkon Ghana no. Waka nsem bi a abusua sansam no mintimi emfa mano emaboso nyina de se me no kɔ na wankasa wotim enkotie efiri nanum. Wasi die asi owo man konkon Ghana ha enipa nwɔtwe ahwe wo monkwan yaya no efiri na abusua sɛ de masia kan da sɛ ensɛm nyina yatwe go homa so a yɛde ma no memo akɔ na wakotie. Wasi eba ne sɛn ena NDC amayeko John Dramani Mahama ne Aseidu Nkeitiah eye campaign na Aseidu Nkeitiah tim kogina pinchie so na woka che NDC supporters ene Ghana fo nyina se 2024 abaso no wo wene enipa senkra na bewu ewo Ghana ha na o wene abanokra enyom asem de omu hia ne se o wene na omu de moja so ene be wene sansem no Aseidu Nkeitiah ekan ya eho video nyina ewo ho a Bonohene etim do sansem no so kwa na enya asem kito o se o Ghana ha ya ena NDC communicators ekwatena fidie so ewo radio good na woka kire Ghana fo nyina no mo bo mpae se sabra na nando dan kwakofo ado na wo yusu private jet tukwan no wo mo bo mpae se sa pre no enko cràsh na wo ngu na se samre na nando dan kwakofo ado 7 previous na wo hu a Ghana enusu 1 city wo se samre no na NDC mpanyimfo no wahe DNT eno mantimi aka bibi a kire mo na busua DNT a wo de sansem wo nyina eba ne program na wo yeso no ewo astikyere na so wutie ni odu no ewia e na behu wo se sami damfi so ekan bi na ewia se wodon saba ako e kire obi so a ya na obu efi se ennan na aka no ehwe so awusia ensem a wo yi wo ka fa cràsh asi wo man konkon Ghana ha na Ghana etie ni so na enipa nwɔtwe government officials afiri mu no yenkwe kwan a Bonohene Baffour Awuah wo hye ensem no na wo ka kire NDC amayeko John Dramani Mahama se ade bi wo kwa ayese wo ye enkura system bi ewu wo Ghana ha eso ye bi fa ho enye sa wanhwe ya na de beto Ghana no enye papa abusia yenko na wankasa kokotie Bonohene Baffour Awuah ye ba Nsem-Pii TV sere dada ye no ensem hodo egu ya pronso bia no ye besan e de ka atifo ho
babi Nsem-Pii John Dramani Mahama ne NDC fo se nya twomni fi he hwenia kasa bi Nsem-Pii John Dramani Mahama any NDC for etumpan sesa nya atwem hypocrisy efrihe Ghana ye nya atwem too much ayam ya Sam Dr. Eduardo Manebuama ani Mutala Muhammad anwa me kan tro say me na me hye fuguda me firi me class bae nipa wodi kan to fuguma me eye honorable Mutala Muhammad na me for the currency ye
ana pe dia na o kan kulisi
ba no kra ba ko pe. And because of a ministers in Tia, yes, one more, near in the form and sense or see a day kayo more and because of them.
The Canada hodo.
And yet, because of them, Tia, Nsem-Pii John Dramani Mahama was in the form and sano, walk or said them kakra, Jenana wopoku, 1 year Mamma Nsem-Pii. And Umatumasi, you didn't come over, Umatumasi.
And a pedia no can kulisi.
Yawo Kroma no Bogu. And cross system, Savior Church. And granted, you know one unit 25 years. Take Commander Udino. Accident gram. Obianka Obianka J. Yamfo Obianka Hospital. Ya man's body, I will go to Niakasa. This minister bit me call. This John Dramani Mahama. What me call and none na me dwen ho amenti bisa say Jena na opoku what me call etumpan ya wo gender minister cràsh na say what me call bisa say regional minister what me call enti sanya atwumwa ekire say nya atwumwa yi ekire say enupa wotwe awu yesu of course omo ye ministers ye respect mo but enkra dunsia ewu ye asoman ye ntia mo national governmental attention.
Say I want to ban a billion pounds.
Yankomano. Yantima mo national governmental attention. Ya mo attention bia. na bisawo se saa nkra dunsia no so omumo ja kan fam Ghana na sabe yantimi anya bibi asoman na yanya amamra ni amane na moja kasa wa asase so a enye de behu ne yehu
ne ka na da hodo
abane nko obogu
Etumpan.
kanti John Dramani mama onko obogu woni andisifo no enkran dunsia a omuwu ye omumoja gu asase no so no won kwa busunya hono ne abusunya nkasa
Etumpan.
won chechire busunya re
Chenia kasa.
enye sa ba bi o my Ghana ye ko na ehu akwabanya na meka o ba bi a wo man ne ko no ehu sanya nipa wu accident ahodu a esie moja ehwie gu asase no so no eya
Etumpan.
ya to ba wi ye nche abosome nso arahusam nko a wo accident wey atoda bia ya na mempesa me de be politics menti sensem trofo ni bia obi wu wi a ni ababonten na we na ku no na we na ku John Kuma wu ya this for
me need time to waste
nipa ne da fom wo yire wo busia yes eh MPP for poison no and we so nipa wotwe no mu yo ma ne bu amam no NDC for the kuma ana
ne ka na da
ma
hodo
me mass bi nchiraw and I believe in numbers
Etumpan.
akwaba I believe in numbers unim fomo a the American no betima say 2024 ballot paper ya de to aba no na NDC omo da wotwe 8 on the ballot paper akwaba tien ko bana yedi ni yepa abusumi a ye wo mu a nipa wotwe afri mu a emu baya miensa de ye nim so mo ye NDC fo omo ye mpanyimfo no abusumi wotwe 8 months ni wuni 8 months na accident we see ye gabi anya sapre jauma no
Chenia kasa.
akwaba no sro santin komo wo ya menu udi no
Etumpan.
akobo mu in the 8th month no nipa wotwe na san wu ye and to da bia nipa petumi a hard truth bitter truth me the respect mo wu no but tin komo no ye petumi ababi a ye chini kono ya na doso ye petumi a babi a ye chini kono ya na doso because to me pano e magnetic
adwin kase so da ya adwin ke 20
aye sim ye krom kasa enti e chew ntuba du wani babu enti unya tumi ni wie no wa ntimi ankwa ankoda asia ababa yesu masem
osre da wo de gi a ye ba ma
and politics no a ye fa no kuntan tie politics na fa no kuntan ye kire ye ho no ye fa ko ba bia ye nya ko bia se fa no se honto se kunto se hwan yo wono ya NDC presenter na ne kwotena se mampai na nado sa charter flight odi tupan no enka wo tupan a wo bompaye se nyankopon ma no ko boadiem na mampai na nado ngu ye mo ni tape na tie
tos bebre enya plane crash asofo nyina bi nya plane crashes American sofo ba ko yi minim ni din mo ba kan about 3 years or 4 years ni erado one na yere omo ko nya plane crash no mu ye yanka kra no na American superstar ya obo baseball yi Kobe Bryant won so ne ba fe a 17-year-old girl erado mu ko nya plane crash no mu ye erado na no Africa ya play me kwa sure no so say nipa 150 cent and mu ye erade moja edi bimbebre hiro mo nkwa na plane crash erade boy na sa play we so a mofom erade crash sa nipa no be sa crash sa play we crash o haya crash sa play we Ghana will lose nothing erade so claim this innocent weak claim
jaja na brofo kwa ma yenya kwa we mani timi ko jina radio god so akwa we na wo kan no de mampai na na do amfa buo kura mampai ni bon paye se sabi mprebiasa a whole president because of political expediency we kwatna flight mu na wo tupan na chartered flight a mampai na ko crash no wu yenya sami jamfi wo kroma ma ne koto nyom demonstration se nyame nkum mampai na nado bo me baso sia bo na mebisa no sɛ politics ne yɛde kɔ he ewiase afɔfɔdeɛ tumi no yɛde kɔ he
ne kaa na da hɔ
ɛyɛ vanity upon vanity
ana pɛ de ana no ka no kuli si
yɛn nyinaa ɛbɛgya mu pɛ saa nnwom no yɛkurokura mu kwa yɛkurokuradeɛ no nkwa ne yɛkɔ ɔma ne bɔ ɔma nyɛ no akɔ yi ɛnyɛ na ɔnabo mutala wɔkɔ yi ɛnti to da bi a politics no a yɛyɛ no ani deɛ kwan so ɛnyɛ nyɛ politics ne sɛ yɛtan yɛ ho ɛyɛ contest of ideas politics ɛyɛ contest of ideas
etumpan
ka wadwene nipa no nka no adwene sɛ wo ne nipa no nyɛ adwene a ababawa ɛnyɛ metan no menya nka wabu mekɔbo no mekɔtaataa no memi akɔte no tum mekɔyɛ na yɛka kadeɛ yɛde wiase ne kɔhe ɔmane bɔ ɔma mu wuyɛ ɛhɔ so a manfoɔ atwia sika sponsors wɔ so yɛhɔto show no yɛde yɛyie beauty of politics kawadwe na menka madwe ne yɛnkɔ ɛnti sɛ obi ɛkɔ saa tangent wei ɛwɔ amayɛ sɛ mu sɛ yɛbɛwehye nipa sɛ nipa wuru mampanyini mu a na ɔte akonnwa so mampanyini nanado na mema ne nyini nkyɛ nkɔ cràsh no wu a ɛdɛn na ɛbɛba yɛn so yɛsɛ wuro nsa baako ɛto nnua so no na nan na aka ne nyina ɛba wo so ɛtɔ da bi a yɛnya hwɛ yie kakra wo
Greet your cherished listeners. I mean, my life in the Air Force, having been in there for a while and the past president of the Retired Air Force Officers Association, it's a sad situation. Extremely sad situation to leave your colleagues die carrying very important VIP passengers and to lose their lives. It's very sad. Extremely sad. I don't know. I'm not doing a PR for the Air Force, but I'm here on my own, my experience within the Air Force. Some of us were lucky to have been trained in Italy to fly jet fighters, and that's what I was doing. We were the first jet fighters south of the Sahara. We take this thing very serious, and also we are extremely sad. I think the Air Force will not be waiting for an official investigations. And this particular situation, I would say this is not the first time that the Air Force has lost a helicopter flying over a heavily dense populated area. One was about 25 years ago in Etiwa, when they were coming from Kumasi, weather was bad, and they lowered themselves and they hit a tree and killed all the passengers. Almost similar to what happened
in the Etiwa forest.
Etiwa forest.
This eastern region. Was it the helicopter that was involved in the medical evacuation?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And all 5 on board died?
Yeah, they died, yes. They all died. The helicopter has to come down. Don't forget that. I brought this.
Yeah.
What gives the helicopter power to stay in the air are the rotors. And what gives the rotors the power is the engines. And honestly, I haven't come across that many pilots who like to take off and go and die. Suicidal tendencies. Maybe we can go back to the Second War, the Japanese kamikaze.
Yeah.
And not too long ago, there was one in the U.S., Egyptian Air something who started saying prayers, and they thought psychologically he ditched the aircraft. But no pilot would like to take off and say, I'm going to die. That's one thing. How did the Air Force get involved? Normally, Air Force transports government officials from the president, or anytime they request for an aircraft, being a helicopter or being a fixed wing. It's our duty, and that's done in all countries. And I can tell viewers that the records of Ghana Air Force is pretty high. Our accident rate is very low.
The accident rate of the Ghana Air Force
is very low.
Is very low.
Yes, and our reputation. And most of our pilots either are locally trained or train abroad or go abroad to go and do some more courses. And normally, if a government needs a transportation by air, they will originate the request to the Air Force headquarters. And depending on the type of mission, the Air Force will now get the particular aircraft which can or suitable for that purpose. Now, when that request comes to the Air Force will send it to the station or the base and then to the squadron that will have the task to perform Accra, Kumasi, Accra, Tamale. It will be their duty to select the aircraft which is going to perform and the air crew. And the air crew will go. So the air crew, what happens, to go to work in the morning, afternoon, and then you are given the task order that you are to fly A, B, C to this situation. And in our country where our road system is very bad, they do a lot of transportation of VIPs on helicopters.
On the helicopters.
It's very sad this happened as an accident.
And we've seen even civilians as well. Sometimes the Air Force gives that support to civilians also to fly to. In fact, some of my colleagues have flown on some of these helicopters to cover stories, the Lubo border and so on. But on a typical day, as you indicated, you report you are chosen and told that you are flying ABCD. What are the protocols? What's the first few things you do before you get in there?
The protocol that you go through, first of all, you got a task order to fly VIPs or passengers from where to where. Aircraft is selected, pilots are selected to fly. So when, as air crew, you go to near the aircraft you're going to fly, it's your duty to examine externally how the aircraft looks like or if there's anything wrong with it. Now, if you are satisfied and you go into the cockpit, you have what we call pre-start checks. You do your pre-start checks. If all the parameters in the engine, in the console is okay, then you're allowed to start your engines. And after start, you also go back to check. This is not only to the Air Force or aviation. After start, you also check your instruments. If they are all right, then you may call the control tower and tell them where you are going.
Right.
And then the height and the rest. Control tower too will relate to you the weather conditions. That's what they do. But in that particular case, the pilots were all qualified. The aircraft is qualified because it flies both morning, noon, and night.
I see. If you say the aircraft is qualified, what do you mean?
That is an all-weather aircraft.
The Z9?
Yes.
It's an all-weather aircraft?
All-weather, yes. I mean, it transports people in the night when the pilots cannot even see. They rely on their instruments.
So this is an aircraft that was equipped to fly even with the bad weather or not too good weather?
Yes. I mean, if the weather is so bad, and after you've been relayed to you, the captain, you're on board. If you think it's so bad, you just scrap the flight and wait for weather to clear. But I don't think the weather between here and Obuasi was so bad. I don't think so.
So, just because that's another narrative, I mean, the weather could have contributed. But then again, you say before they fly, they would get that information.
We get information and get clearance from the control tower to allow it to go to where you are going. You just don't get up and fly in the air. It's controlled all the time.
So you don't put any premium on bad weather as one?
I don't think so, because if squadron leader must have been flying helicopters minimum about 10 to 12 years. With co-pilot maybe around that for a few years. For him to be selected as a captain of VIP flight, one of the best.
Yes.
One of the best, I think it's just an accident which happened. And planes fall all the time. It doesn't mean I'm not sympathizing with the dead. It hurts me. But I also lost my colleagues like that, But what I think we could do or can be done is that you select a height. And the pilot will not select a height to fly over treetops. Treetops is when you are given specific, they'll go low and look for something. But for safety reasons,
you fly above the tree.
You fly above any obstacle because a map is there, the topography is there. So you select a height not to go and get into anything.
I see. But then the other narrative, in fact, some of the residents in this Baffour area that our correspondent spoke to say they saw this helicopter fly at a very low altitude. If that's to be considered or anything to go by, what would cause something like that?
For that to be considered, if it was flying, I said, you won't have any tree in Ghana here about 2,000 feet. Unless sitting on a mountain or something. But all these things are taken when you are preparing your height. You fly up to be approved by the control tower. You know, they saw the helicopter come low. What caused it to come low? This is the biggest issue.
So the biggest question is what caused it to come that low?
Yes. And they said they had ramming of the engine. It's a when they